iCarbox.
Hello everybody. How many of you struggle with your productivity? Thank you. Whoa, that's a lot. So many clients. My name is Tatiana Zeiler, and we are a productivity master, which is a service, the time management service for people who struggle with productivity, for freelancers and entrepreneurs. This is our amazing team, who's highly experienced in the design and development, and myself have a 7 year of experience in the educational market, 7 year of entrepreneurship, working on both Russian and English markets. This is the market we're targeting. The numbers here are just from the US market alone. So this is the self-development industry, which brings over $11 billion just in the US. The global market is obviously even bigger. Our first entry will be the Western world, English-speaking Western world, which accounts for 33 million people, potential customers. So what's the problem with the productivity? How many of you can relate to this? You know, paper, notepads, kind of struggling with your schedule? That was us, thank you. Lots of people I see at the seminars, lots of entrepreneurs do this, and this is actually crazy. You can't monitor what you're doing. There is nobody to remind yourself. Even if you're using this awesome gadgets, you know, iPhones, Google Calendar, all it can do is just remind you of something. But can it actually help you plan your schedule, make you more efficient, educate you? Well, not really, unless you read like hundreds of this kind of books about productivity and how to do this. You don't really know what to do and how to approach the issue. But in reality, you can be twice as more productive, or even 3 times more productive than you are right now. And this is additional sales. And the marketing channels are quite different. As this is a niche designed about motivational speaking, book authors, we're going to target our audience through them by doing flyers, affiliations, featuring this in different magazines, business magazines, and TV shows.
And thank you very much.
Work, and does it have an API?
It will have an API. This is just a prototype right now.
When it will release?
We need 6 months of development to fully release this. There is some complicated mechanism behind it.
Have you thought about implementing hardware into this? So, for example, for myself, I've used a lot of productivity apps, and the main problem is that it still requires a user input, and that for me is like counterproductive because I want to utilize my time as best I can, but if I have to keep inputting all of this information. So have you ever thought about like a hardware that could basically read your behavior and be able to do that automatically?
Yeah, actually we have, and it's not just about the hardware. Of course, we're going to use smartwatches later in our development cycle. Like it will see your the blood pressure, it will see your heart rate, it will know where you're going to sleep. And let's say the less efficient time is 6 hours after you wake up. So this is when your biorhythm goes down. So it will advise you not to put anything important on that time. Speaking of input, yeah, we can connect to Google Calendar, Facebook to get all these different events when you're going. And of course, the struggle is just to have the first input. Then you have a lot of repetitive tasks which are automatically rescheduled again.
Okay.
Can you say something about data analysis in it? Because you mentioned this, because also you mentioned some different ideas about hardware that is being used, but because all of these topics are quite discussable and all over the world are speaking about, is there something in particular that you are informed with and you are ready to implement it?
In terms of the analysis?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. We have some great talents. I have a person who works in the Russian market and in the Scandinavia, creating very complicated apps, and he's currently working in another startup, but he's willing to do this together. So I kind of rely on him because he has a great experience in terms of the learning, there are existing services. Maybe we would do some connections to what was it developed by the AHP, the deep learning service.
The
Which is-
IBM Deep Blue.
Sorry, the IBM.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they already exist, so we're not planning to develop them from scratch. We just want to integrate and use the data.
So I'm going to say that you are ready to integrate cognitive services, you know.
Almost, yeah. It'll be
I thought you had no algorithms and servers.
We do have some, but there are others which exist. Why we don't need to raise them again.
One last short
I
question.
have four short questions. Okay, how much it will take to invest? That's the first question.
The first year is 200,000, and then the second year is 150,000, and we are reaching our break-even point in the middle of the second year.
But which year you are in?
We haven't started. We just
Okay.
created.
Okay, so the
Second
third year
day.
is the breaking. Then you mentioned on the presentation that the market is US. Did I got it right?
It is the Western English-speaking market, Europe,
Okay.
US, including Australia,
Okay. I saw the team was international.
international,
Where it's the production, let's say, based? I mean,
online.
online. So it is a co-working from
It is a
all over.
co-working.
Okay. So my question will be how you related to Varna in this point. And I
Because
saw
of
that
our
you
last
put
call.
famous names on the branding, like Kiyosaki and various. Do you really have the means to, let's say, afford them with the budget that you mentioned?
We're going to give them 50% of the sales.
Okay.
And
And the last question about the technology, is that the productivity manager for persons or for teams also?
this is personal at the moment, but it is expandable.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.